A lot of you guys need reminders about the old supply and demand rule. So whether you are trying to get an X back or trying to succeed and get ahead at work or build a better friendship or just trying to maybe shift your energy around, you guys forget the timeless virtue of supply and demand. Okay, my energy has been low this week, fighting a little bit of a sickness. I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm tired, I'm sweaty, I'm shivering. I don't know what's going on, but because of this, I pulled back my energy from a lot of things, not having a lot of conversations with people, taking a lot more time to text back because I have crazy headaches and I just cannot think straight. And I'm tired and I'm wide awake and I'm falling asleep at 7:30 and then I'm waking up at 3 a.m. and then waking up at 1 a.m. then waking up at 5 a.m. That's right, I time travel in reverse while I sleep. I don't know. It's been a crazy week, right? I'm trying to align myself to the point where I can go into the weekend with more energy, get back on track by the time next week comes. But because of this, I've noticed it's had a side effect, okay? I'm not as communicative with my clients, which I'm sorry. I'm dealing with sickness, big changes these past 2 weeks in my life, a lot of things to handle, but mostly with friends and family, some of my business partners on my supplement company and my apparel company, right? And I've just kind of pulled my energy back and it's driving people crazy, right? One of my pet peeves is when people call and they don't leave a voicemail or they don't send a text, whatever. I often put my phone on airplane mode. It's always on do not disturb, and I have 0 notifications on my phone. Call me a crazy person, but that's how I like to live my life. If I want to check an app and see if there's something going on, don't worry, I'll check. But I don't need you and everybody else's notifications always having access to me. I just don't, right? I'm very upfront about this with my clients, and I'm very communicative with them. When I can and I have the time, I like to be there, okay? But I don't give my family, my friends, my coworkers, everybody unfettered access to me. I just don't. And because of this, I've noticed over time, especially with some of my friendships, right? My supply is really, really down low, which means the demand goes up, same way it happens with oil, okay? And this is kind of a dark manipulation tactic. I'm not telling you to gaslight someone or just start not showing up or just disappear, because it's not a healthy way to communicate or exist. But understand the pattern and the sequence of how much, how often you're supplying yourself to someone that you either want attention from or validation from or a partnership or communication from, right? I've communicated and set boundaries with these people saying, hey, I'm not feeling well, I'm under the weather, I'm not going to be responsive. Yet these people are still peppering me with phone calls, right? I'm like, what's up? I'm in bed drinking tea, throwing up every 20 minutes. I don't really feel like talking on the phone. What do you need? Just call me tomorrow. Like, okay, we'll see if I feel better. And it's been like that all week. So I don't know what's going on, but I started to get some more passive aggressiveness. Seems like I'm inviting that into my life this week, especially. But, okay, how do we solve this? You don't. You just become aware of the patterns that either you are creating or that other people are creating in your life. If you notice people ghosting in order to try to get attention and affection, right, whatever. Maybe they're trying to manipulate you by withdrawing their love or withholding their attention or not calling or not texting enough because they're actually trying to drive you crazy. This scenario, right, something that I've just noticed about myself this week, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to not throw up and shit myself, because that would be nice as an adult to not have to do those things all of the time. So for you guys, my clients, sorry that I haven't been communicating this week. However, that being said, also understand when people do this to you in relationships, in business. People will often do this as a poor excuse to try and gain power or exert emotional influence over you, or make you become emotional to the point where you start saying things and you start acting certain ways that is going to cause you to lose rapport, to lose honor, to lose onus, right? In this case, I'll be honest, I guess I am trying to see if one of my business partners will start to voice himself, right? And instead of 2 people in a company essentially doing their job, when one person starts to edit or almost micromanage the other person, especially in a partnership, whether business or relationships, that's when things get a little bit unhealthy. I've recognized those patterns in my life, and that is usually my cue, right, to pull back and my own energy away from that situation so I don't have to be micromanaged as often. I don't like to be told what to do. Anyways, that's its own conversation. This one's long enough. There's really no fix, but you have to understand the pattern when you're fucking doing it and when other people are doing it to you. All right, does this make sense? Hit me up for one-on-one coaching. I will make your business better and your relationships better, because I've been the most toxic person of all time before, and I know how this shit works, right? The good and the bad. So hit me up, free calls, and then I'll build you a custom tailored plan for what we can work on after that. See you in the next one.